Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to my first update for my Pan Those Eyeshadows project. I am super excited about today. So I have the 5 palettes that I had in for this project, and I'm going to run through the shades that I had in and talk about how many times I used them, if I hit pan, and we can just jump right in. I do want to just reiterate my rules quick a second. So the obvious goal is to hit pan on these shades, but if I don't think I can hit pan, I can roll them out if I've had them in for 2 months, or if I have used them 10 times, I'm going to lower that number. I said 15 in my intro, but I think I want to do 10 just based on the number of times I used these shades this last month. Even getting to 10 is going to be difficult for me. So the first shade I had comes from my I Heart Revolution Oh the Places You'll Go palette, and I had the 5th shade. So here is what this is looking like now. It is this shade right here, and as you can see, I did manage to hit pan on this shade. I used this one a total of 5 times, so it was pretty easy. This already had a small dip in it before I rolled it in, so it was fairly easy for me to hit pan on, and this was a lot of fun to use. I mostly used it as an all-over lid shade, and yeah, I absolutely loved this shade. My next shade comes from my Milani Soft and Sultry palette, and it is the shade Soft Touch. So here is that shade right here. I used this one only 3 times this last couple weeks. I did only have these palettes in for 2.5 weeks, something like that. So I didn't get nearly as much use out of them as I might have in an entire month, but I did film my introduction late, so this is a couple weeks worth, and I only used it 3 times, which is not great. I don't think I'm gonna hit pan on this shade just because it's a very hard pressed shade. These pans are pretty deep from what I can tell, and yeah, not gonna hit pan, but I'm hoping to get some pretty good use out of it in the coming month. Next up we have my Nabla Poison Garden palette, and from this palette I had the shade Honey. So Honey is right in the center here, and I did not use this at all. I honestly forgot that it was in this project, and I just wasn't really reaching for this warmer toned orange shade. So hopefully I can get a couple uses out of it this next month before I roll it out, but I didn't anticipate using it much, but I definitely anticipated using it more than 0 times. Next up we have my Ulta Ravenclaw palette. So from this palette I had the shade Natural. And here is the shade Natural up in the corner. So I only used this one once. I just really wasn't reaching for this palette, for this shade. It's obviously a very basic shade, not super exciting, so I just wasn't really feeling inspired to reach for it, but I'm hoping I can get a couple more uses out of it this next month. And last but not least, from my Wet n Wild Au Naturel palette, I had rolled in shade number 10. So shade number 10 is this black shade down at the end, and I used this one 3 times. A part of me really wants to try and hit pan on this shade. There is a little bit of a dip forming in it. I like to use this one mostly as a liner, but I've used it on a small blending brush in my outer corner as well. So there is a little bit of a dip forming, and I would really like to see another pan in this palette. So I will see how much use I can get from it this next month and see if it is one that I do end up wanting to hit pan on. So those are the 5 shades that I had in for January, and of course I did hit pan on one shade, so we get to roll in a new one, which is super exciting. So I have my Pretty Random app here. So I have it set from 1 to 985. That is how many shades are in my collection total. This does include shades that I have already hit pan on, so I will re-roll if I get one of those, but we can just draw in one number. And it is going to be 596. So shade 596 comes from my Bella Cosmetics Sweet Sunflower palette in the shade Canyon. So that is this dark matte brown shade down here. This one it'll be nice to use. I wish I got a more exciting shade to replace the light green that we had, but this will be a nice outer corner deepening shade, and I do want more excuses to use this palette, so that will be nice. So that is going to be our new shade. So I will insert a picture of the swatches of our new color story. I am really excited. I'm hoping to get some good use out of these shades. Like I said, I want to try and possibly hit pan on the black shade from this top palette here, but other than that, I think either a usage goal or time limit goal will be rolling the rest of these shades out. But I am excited to continue to rotate through my collection. So let me know what you thought about this update. Give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future uploads. And with all of that said, I will see you in my next video. Bye!